Okay, we're going to begin with our lunge sequence. It's going to start off with a side lunge, cross under lunge, front lunge, back lunge. We're going to do that side 3 more times. Side, cross under, and each step try and bring the back knee nice and low to the floor, stepping softly. Cross, forward, and back. One more time, landing softly, nice and low, getting a good stretch while being gentle, still warming up the body. Very nice. Now we're going to switch sides. 4 more times on that side. Side lunge, cross under lunge, front lunge, and back. Very nice. 3 more times. Side, cross under, forward, back. Nice. Side, crossing under, nice and soft, nice and low. Very good. Last time. Crossing under, stepping forward, stepping back. Excellent. Now we'll do the stretch sequence. You go into a nice long low lunge. You rotate up the inside hand, then the outside hand goes up. You stay low as you squat across, and then you lunge back again, nice and long and low. Inside arm first, outside arm second, and again. We do that 4 per side. Crossing, lifting, keeping the hips nice and low, getting a nice stretch in the hips and the chest and the spine, breathing out with each stretch. Nice and wide. Try and stay as low as possible. Lock out the back leg when you do a lunge. Very good. Getting our body ready for the workout. Excellent. Big, wide, and low lunge. Low and long. Squat. Lunge. Very good. Very good. Now we're going to go on to the glute and core activation, beginning with the walk out to plank. We're going to do 5 of those. Try and keep your legs straight, but if you have to, bend them. And if you want something a little bit harder, go down to your elbows. Very good. But the goal is to be able to have straight legs and go down to the hands for now. And if you need to, you go down to the elbows to make it a little bit harder. Very good. We're doing 5 of those. Keeping the hips level, tucked under, core tight. We'll move on to the butt activation. We're going to start off with 45 seconds of climb. Pretend that your back is against the wall. Open your knees up as much as you can without rolling the hips back. Keeping the core tight so nothing moves except for the leg. You should feel this on the outside of your butt. The butt that's towards the ceiling, you should feel that on the side of it. Getting a good burn. You're about halfway through. Always lift as high as you can and keep holding those hips steady so you don't roll them back. Otherwise you end up working the wrong muscle. Core nice and tight so nothing moves there. We're going to do 1 more lift and then switch sides. Excellent. And switching sides. So 45 seconds on that side. Ready, set, go. Open up as much as you can and keeping the big toes together. Pretending again that you're against the wall so nothing moves in the hips. Lifting the knee up as high as possible. Core nice and tight. Breathing out with the effort. Really feel that contraction happening in the side of your butt. Very good. Almost there. Nice and high. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. We got 10 more seconds. Nice and high. Hips stable. Breathing out with the effort. One more time. Good. Now roll over to your back. We're going to do 45 seconds of butterfly hip lift. This muscle is to help target the butt. So lift as high as you can and come down just to touch the floor without putting weight on it. Lifting high, always checking that your knees are staying apart. When you get tired, they're going to want to come together. Don't let them. Nice and high. Make sure that you're lifting up onto your shoulders, not your neck. And keep the core tight to take away the pressure from the low back. Big butt squeeze. Squeeze super hard. Breathing out with each lift. You're halfway. You're doing good. Knees stay open. Very good. We have 10 seconds left. High lift. Keep that height. Keep that height. We know it burns. It's supposed to. Last one. Now we're going to go for the butt burners. Your feet, you open up your legs and you close them again, back and forth for 45 seconds. Keep the height of your hips. The higher you keep your lift, the more you're going to feel it. And don't go too fast. Take your time to really feel the contraction in your butt. Very good. Again, keep your core tight so you don't feel pressure in your low back, keeping the weight on your shoulders, not your neck. And breathing out with the effort, so as the knees open, you can breathe out. Excellent. We've got about 10 seconds left. Couple more. Last one. Excellent. Now we're going to move to our balance sequence. So stand your feet. We're going to have, making sure the support foot is pointing straight forward, keeping your hips level. You're going to put your hands on your hips. You're going to do 10 battements in demi-plié devant. This is one of the only moves we do today that we're going to actually count. We're not going to do time. So we're going to do 10 devant on the right leg, then 10 devant on the left leg before we switch to the next positions. Keeping the hips level, body nice and stiff, core engaged all the time. So now you switch legs. So you are, in fact, keeping the support knee bent in demi-plié. And as you do your battement, making sure that both hips stay the same height. Excellent. Keeping core tight. And then when you're done that side, you're going to go à la seconde, going back to the first leg. Again, same thing. Your knees stay super straight. Toes pointed as much as you can. Hips balanced out. You try and not lift one more than the other. Always keeping your knee pointing forward. Support leg nice and tight. When your foot comes back down, though, just a gentle touch of your toe. You don't actually put weight on the floor. And when we're done 10 of that, we switch sides. Keeping the legs really straight right from the floor. Over time, go for higher and higher, as long as you don't compromise form. Sometimes we go higher, but then we hike a hip up or we wobble too much. So keep it nice and stable. Always do quality over height. Height's going to come with time. Then last thing we'll do for the balance, the next move will be in derrière. And demi-plié still. You're still keeping your hips nice and square. Trying to keep your chest from rocking, so keep it nice and vertical as much as you can. Support leg, try and keep it straight so it doesn't move up and down. Very good. Okay, last movement for the grand battement. Hips nice and square. I find that putting the hands on the hips help to feel if they're square or not. They tend to be more stable that way. Very good, almost there. Now we'll do our final movement of the warm-up. We're going to do single leg balance for 30 seconds. Your arms can be in first position, shoulders down. And if you need a little bit harder, you can put your arms in second position. And you can also close your eyes if you want it harder still. We're halfway through. With time, it'll be easier and easier for you to keep it with the eyes closed. And 3, 2, 1. Other leg, same thing. Again, you can try second position if you want harder, or eyes closed if you want harder still. Otherwise, go back to your first position with the eyes open. Both hips the same height, support leg is locked out straight. We got about 10 seconds left. Very good. This is going to be the last move of the workout, of the warm-up. 3, 2, 1. Now it's time for the battement and développé sequence. You're going to first lie on your back. You're going to do for 45 seconds alternating slow battement to come up with the arms in second position, and then your leg comes back down nice and controlled. Alternating legs keeps your legs nice and straight. Keep the natural curve of your back. And if you need to, you can put your hands under the small of your back to make sure the pressure doesn't change under your back. Otherwise, you can keep your arms in second position, making sure that space stays the same. And as you alternate your legs, make sure the leg that stays on the floor stays nice and straight. And over time, try and get the leg as far past your hips as you can, as close to your head as possible. We're going to go for about 10 more seconds, keeping the core tight. Nice straight legs. Very good. Almost there. One more per side. Excellent. Now we're going to do 30 seconds of alternating fast battement and then control back down. Fast battement, keeping the floor leg nice and stiff. Battement as fast as you can with good form. Fast up, control down. Fast up, control down. Again, if you need to put your hands below your back, do that. Make sure the space stays the same. Otherwise, stay in second position. Very good. We got 10 more seconds. Nice and stiff. Get the foot as far past your head as you can, fast past the shoulders, and done. For 1 minute, you'll do alternating slow développé, and then bring the leg back down and go. And when you développé, make sure the knee stays in the same spot, and then lower the leg back to the floor, keeping the floor leg nice and straight. Don't lift it up as you do your développé. Go as far as you can. Keep your knee in the same spot as you développé. You have to watch it because sometimes when we développé, the knee moves back away from the face, but you got to keep it there. Really get a good workout for your hips and your core as you move. You should feel this on the front of your quad as well. This is good. Good. Always fight for high, breathing out with the effort. So as you lift the leg up, you breathe out. Got about 15 seconds left. Keep watching for that low back to keep that space under it. Nice control of the spine. We'll do one more per side. Last one. Excellent. Now switch over to the side. We'll do some of the same moves in à la seconde. So slow battement up and control down. We're going to do this for 30 seconds per side. Now, as you do your slow battement up, make sure the hips don't roll back. Pretend that you're against the wall. Go from maximum height, bring the leg to as close to your head as you can, keeping the ribs nice and stiff, core engaged all the time, making sure the bottom foot is nice and stable. Good. Excellent. We'll do one more. Excellent. Now we're going to do the fast battement up and control down. Fast up, control down. Fast up, control down. Making sure the leg on the floor stays on the floor. Up and the hips don't go back. Pretend that you're against the wall. You're about halfway. Excellent. Core tight, breathing out with the lift. Fast up, control down. You have one more to go. And done. Slow développé, all the way up as high as you can, and then tendu back down for 1 minute. Really take your time to feel each position. Your knee turns out as much as possible. It comes as close to your shoulder as possible. You développé, your knee stays put, then you tends you down. Nice and slow. Each move takes about 5 seconds to do, 5 or 6 seconds. Always fight for the knee to open, and as you open up the knee, à la seconde, make sure you don't rotate the hips back. So knee to the ceiling, always. When you come up, control back down. You can have turnout. You should have a turnout to come up, développer. Then as you come down, you need points more and more to the front, like that. Open up, keep the knee nice and high, and control down. Keeping the ribs nice and stiff, core engaged. You shouldn't have any wobbling. This is the last one. Then we're going to switch to the other side and repeat the sequence. Excellent job. So on your side, for 30 seconds, slow battement. Keeping the hips square, again, as if you're against the wall, so the hips don't roll back. Breathing out with the effort, bottom leg is super stiff. The battement leg is super stiff. Nice and stable. Keep going up and control down. We have one more to do. Excellent. Now fast battement up and control down. Nice and slow down. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. Fast up and control down. Again, be mindful of the hips. Keep that core engaged the whole time, breathing out with each lift. Nice and tight. Go for maximum height while keeping the bottom leg nice and straight. If you find that you cannot keep the leg on the floor, then don't go as high and you'll get the height over time. And last one. Excellent. Now we're going to go 1 minute of slow développé and then tendu back down. So same thing on this side. When you reach the highest point of your knee up, keep it there as you développé. And then lower down, nice and slow. We're doing this side again for 1 minute. Doing good. Breathing out with the effort. Hips are nice and engaged. Again, you're against that imaginary wall. That's really important because people tend to roll the hips back. And if they do, they work out the wrong muscle. They get the wrong muscle stronger. So we really need to have precision in our movements. We got about 20 seconds left. You're doing good. Always fight for opening up those hips as much as possible as far as the knee is concerned. We got about 10 seconds left. Excellent. And control down. You got one more to go. Get as close to the shoulder as you can. And very good. Now for the inner thigh sequence. You need to bend your leg and you can grab your ankle if it helps you to release tension, because sometimes if we don't grab the ankle, we feel that in the upper butt too much, but we need to be able to relax with that. So we're going to really feel the inner thigh of the bottom leg working a lot here, because every move is 30 seconds. You have 4 moves to go, 4 moves to do. At the beginning, keeping the core nice and tight, making sure, again, the hips don't turn back. So you want to flex your foot and you want to turn in, so your toe is pointing to the ceiling. You're going to go up and down for 30 seconds. Your goal is to go higher than your shoulder and up, down. And when you come back down, just touch the floor gently, but don't put any weight on it. Always fight for maximum height. So keep that core tight so the upper body is nice and stable. Fight for the height. 10 more seconds. One more time. Now for the next one, you're going to do pulses, but stay high and do small pulses up and down. Try and maintain that shoulder height if you can. Just gentle movements up and down. And again, keep that turn in, making sure that as you go higher, you're not rolling back on the hips. Very good. Keep that height, keep pushing, keep pushing. Got about 5 more seconds. and 4 leg circles, and 3, 2, 1, circle the leg forward. Making sure that the leg doesn't really touch the floor. It can brush the floor gently, but don't put any weight on it. And control that hip as you move. It's a bit awkward at first if you're not used to moving the hips this way, but it's very important. Keeping nice and stable. Good job. Got about 10 seconds left. Almost there. Keep that height. Keep that turning. And last one. Very good. Now circle backwards. Same things apply here though. Go for maximum height. Keep that turn in. Core nice and engaged. Hips nice and stable. Nothing moves but the leg. You're about halfway. Then we'll give you a nice stretch because your thighs are probably burning by now. That's okay. It means you're doing it right. About 5 more seconds. Super stable. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now stretch it out for a little bit. Stretch out those inner thighs. You probably need them. Just a little bit stretch to help alleviate any of the cramping you have. This is not really a stretch designed to make you more flexible. It's just a stretch designed to stretch out to relax the muscle we just worked. So same thing again on that side. Cross the top leg in front, grab onto it from the ankle, and you're going to go nice and high with the foot turned in and flexed for 30 seconds and go. That's right, go for that height. Your goal is to go higher than your shoulders. If you can't do it today, that's okay. That's going to come. Every time you do this, it's going to get easier. You'll get better and stronger. Nice and high. Good job. Got 10 seconds left. Keep that turn in. Core nice and tight. Last one. Now do the pulses. Stay at about shoulder height and do pulses. Moving up and down about 6 inches. Keeping that turn in. Everything else stays the same. Hips are stable, core is tight. About halfway. Fight for the height. Little movements. You got this. About 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. And circle forwards. 4 leg circles. You might find that one circle is easier than the other. Like forward might be easier than backwards or vice versa. That's totally normal. Eventually they'll feel the same. Just for some of us, it's a bit of a natural movement, but it's still a muscle we need to work nonetheless. It just gets neglected a lot. Got about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Now circle backwards and go. You're doing great. Keep the turn in. Good, nice and high. You're almost there. You're halfway done. Nice and high. 10 more seconds. Core tight, hips square. And 3, 2, 1. Good job. Now stretch it out. Very good. Excellent. Good job. The first thing we'll do, for 45 seconds, you're going to go into first position. You're going to do grand plie with the heel staying on the floor. And on the bottom of your plie, you put the heel, you do a relevé back up. And then the heels come back down. Grand plie, heels on the floor, heels come up, and then you rise. Grand plie, heels on the floor, on the bottom you relevé, then you rise. We do this for 45 seconds. Try and keep the core tight, shoulders down. Do it as much turnout as you can. Got 10 more seconds. One more time. Heels come up and done. For 45 seconds, we're going to reverse the motion and do relevé, plié, heels come down, and then you rise back up. Relevé, plié, Heels come down and come back up. Keep that core tight, the bum tucked in. You should feel this in your bum and your core and your thighs. You're halfway. Relever, plier, heels come down and rise up. Relever, core tight, bum tucked, and come up. We're going to go for about 5 more seconds. Very good. Last one. Relever, plier, heels come down and come back up. Excellent. Now for 30 seconds, you're going to go on a single leg with the foot though pointing straight forward. So no turnout whatsoever, keeping the hips nice and square. So the other foot can be in coupe or just off the ground. Rise up and come back down for 30 seconds. Maximum height. So the chair is there just to touch, not to grab onto. You pretend that you have, eventually you will not need a chair, but for now we're going to use a chair to help you be more stable to get that extra inch on the height. Keep the support leg super straight, no bending whatsoever. Core tight, shoulders down. Very good. We got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other leg for 30 more seconds. Remember to keep your foot straight, hip square, core nice and tight, and lock out the supporting leg. And rise all the way up as high as you can, keeping the weight about the same on the big toe and the little toe, or the second foot, the second toe. 10 more seconds, nice and tight. Last one more, and done. Very good. Now you can stretch it out a little bit. Also do so you're stretching the back foot, slide it in to stretch the other calf muscle. Make sure you do some of your stretches with the foot turned in as well. We got the inside and outside calf muscle. It's important to stretch both. Then we're going to go back into position. We're going to do in first position, relevé. But as we go up and down in relevé, we're going to maintain contact with the heels, using more in the thighs that way. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. Make sure you have no space between the legs. Go for maximum height, core tight, bum tucked in, support legs super straight. 10 more seconds. Very good. You should feel this in your inner thighs, your core, and your bum. One more. Go into second position and do relevé, plié, heels come down at the bottom, and then you rise back up. We're going to do this for 45 seconds. So you do plié, relevé, and come back up. Really engaging that core and the bum on every move, every part of the movement. Last one. Can I go? Sorry, 10 more seconds. Nice. Last one. Now maintain your second position, but reverse the motion. So relevé up. That's right. So plié, relevé, and come back up. Plié, relevé, come back up. Same cues though, keeping that core tight, hips tucked under, long neck. Do maximum turnout. Making sure that whatever directions your toes are pointing, that your knees go in that same direction. We got about 15 seconds left. 10 more seconds. Nice. Last one. Good job. Now do some stretches. Your calves can be getting a little bit tight here, so you want to stretch them out a bit so they don't cramp up. Some with the straight leg, some with the bent leg, some with the foot turned in. Very good. And we're going to do relevés with both feet turned in. So it's like a pigeon toe. So keep the turn in. Now, your body won't want to do this. You have to keep checking because your heels are going to want to come back together. So rise up, relevé up, 30 seconds, and back down. Making sure you keep the turn in. Core tight, bum squeezed in. Check your turn out, turn in. Make sure it's nice and turned in. Keep the distance between your heels the same. About halfway. Very good. Maximum height, keeping that turn in. One more time. Now go to single leg turn in for 30 seconds. The trick here though is to make sure the hips don't turn in. The hips stay square, so the only thing that turns in is the supporting foot. The rest applies though. You breathe out with the effort, core tight, bum tucked in. Again, just use the chair a little bit, as little as you need to. It's there for balance, you can use it, just not too much. You don't end up leaning on the chair. Got about 5 seconds left. And last one, very good. Now the other foot turned in for 30 seconds. So again, the bottom foot is turned in, but your hips are not, your hips are square. This is going to feel very natural because we normally don't use that muscle, but we need to use it to have balance out the muscles. Have a body that functions better when it's balanced out. We've got about 10 seconds left. Keeping that bottom leg locked out. One more time. Now we're going to go for what I call the thigh burners. So go into a really wide second position. Go down in a plie, keep your heels off the ground and releve. Now stay nice and low and just go up and down slowly, little bops, pulses for 1 minute. Keeping that turn out the whole time, bum tucked in. It's gonna burn, it's supposed to. Keep fighting through it, mind over matter. You can always come out of it to shake out the legs and then get right back in. That's okay. If you can't do a minute yet, you will be able to do it soon. Just keep at it. You're about halfway, keep it up, you're doing good. Keeping that releve super nice. Bum tucked in. Again, just using the chair gently. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Your calves are burning, your thighs are burning, that's good. 15 more seconds. Almost there, you got it. 10 more seconds. Keep that turn out, keep it out, keep it out, keep it out. And 3, 2, 1, shake it out, shake it out. Stretch your calves muscles again. Some with the foot straight, some with the legs bent, some with the foot turned in. Good job. And done. Now for the core section, we're going to have you cross your arms, round your back as much as you can, lean back until you feel tension in your stomach, turn to one side, hold it for a second, back to center, other side, hold it for a second, back to center for 30 seconds. Nice and slow, squeeze your legs together, keep the lean back. The more you lean back, the harder it is. You're about halfway. Hold each position for a brief moment. Keeping the neck nice and long, keeping the back nice and straight, especially the low back. Got about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and done. Now put your hands on the floor. We're going to do in and out. Lean back, keep your back nice and round. You might feel this in your quads and your thighs and your hips, that's okay. But the more you keep your back round, the more you're going to feel this in your abs as well, in your core, in the front of your body. You're about halfway. And the speed is up to you. If your form is good, you can change the speed, but slow is okay too. Keeping the legs glued together. Last one. And done. Now we're going to move on to leg dips. So lay on your back. Bend your hips at 90 and your knees at 90. Put your hands right below your belly button as a reminder to keep that core tight. And your back must stay flat on the floor. Don't let your low back come off the floor. You will alternating, slowly touching the floor with your toes. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. Just a gentle touch of the floor. And make sure as you move that the angle of your knee stays the same. Keeping the hips super tight, core engaged, pressing the lower back to the floor. We got 10 more seconds. One more per side. Now we'll give the stomach a break and roll to our stomach. We're going to do arch lifts with the arms in fifth position. We're going to go nice and slow for 30 seconds. And as you lift up, make your body long. Reach for the wall in front of you and the wall behind you. Legs are glued together, nice and high. Make sure that your head keeps looking down. Don't lift up your head. You should see the floor, not the wall. Nice controlled lifts. You're halfway. Working the low back, the shoulders, the bum, the hamstring. Making your body nice and long, breathing out with the effort. One more lift. Good job. Now turn on your back, and we're going to do slow reverse curls for 45 seconds. Arms on the floor. Bring the knees up to the face, nice and slow. Trying to avoid any swinging. It's all, and you can use the hands to push on the floor as much as you want to. Slow up, slow down, nice and controlled. Trying to isolate the lower part of the abs. We're doing this for 45 seconds and you're halfway done. Nice and slow. Breathing out with the effort. Good contact of the knees together. Control up, control down. We got about 10 seconds left. Very good. Control up, control down. We got one more to go. Excellent. Now go ahead and sit up a bit. We're going to do rollbacks with the arms crossed for 1 minute. So this is a very slow motion. You roll back as much as you can without lifting the feet off the ground. Then you roll back up. And if you come all the way up, you're going to rest your abs, and that's okay if you need to. Otherwise, keep the pressure on the abs and don't come up. Keep your lean the whole time. Nice and slow. Back nice and round. Shoulders away from the ears. Legs straight, 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 straight. Good, good, good. Keeping the back nice and round. The tendency when we sit up is to make the back go flat. Don't let it. This is one move that you want the back to stay around the whole time. You got about 20 seconds left. Very good. 15 seconds. Keep it up. Keep it round. Got 10 more seconds. Make sure your stomach is not allowed to come out. Keep sucking it in. You got one more to go. Excellent. Now lay on your back. We're going to do the metronome with the arms in second position. Bend the hips at 90 and the knees at 90. We're going to go to one side as far as we can without lifting the opposite shoulder. And then go to the other side. We're going to do this nice and slow for 30 seconds. And if you want a harder version, you can have straight legs. Good. Keeping the opposite shoulder on the floor. One more per side. And done. Now lay on your side. We're going to work on the side of your stomach. Work on your obliques. So bottom arm is across your body and the top arm is behind your head. And you're going to lift up the top knee to the elbow, making contact. Using the bottom arm if you need to lift yourself up. We'll do this for 1 minute per side. Keep the bottom leg on the floor. If you need a harder version, both knees can come off the floor, bending. And if you need harder still, you can go with straight legs, always making contact. Take your time. Use the bottom arm if you need to. Control motion. If you want to go fast, it's okay. If you can control it, that's fine. But don't go fast with bad form though. Control your speed. Very good. We got 20 seconds left. This is the last move. You're doing great. 10 more seconds. Make sure you're making that contact still. You got one more to go. Good job. Now go over to the other side. Got 1 more minute to do, and then we can stretch it out. 1 minute, go. So keeping the bottom leg on the floor. And again, you have the version of having both legs come off the floor bent. That's a little bit harder. And if you want harder still, both legs can be straight. So find the one that's right for you. And you can start with one, and if it gets too hard, switch back to another one. Don't feel that because you've committed to one that you have to stay with it. Push your limit, but stay within it. You'll get stronger every time you do this. You're halfway. Almost done. Breathe out with the effort. Got about 15 seconds left. Almost done. Bottom leg stays on the floor. 10 seconds. One more. And done. Okay, do a seal stretch, stretch out your stomach. Nice, very good.